की हो रहा है. So I got my first car. Now I'm sitting in it right now. Now if you have come from Instagram, you know what car it is. If you're someone who's just randomly clicked on my face, what kind of a car I got is irrelevant to what I'm about to share. Now, buying your first car is a big deal for a lot of people. It feels good, but I have a story that I want to share, which I think is way cooler. So before I share the story, I want to explain the context behind the story so that helps you understand it a bit better. Now, this happened 6 years ago. I was 22 years old and I had just quit my job at a gym that I used to work at as a personal trainer. And my decision to do so was met with a fair bit of contention by people with a lot more experience than me, saying that, oh, freelancing is very risky, you're too young, you don't have enough experience. And they were not wrong. I mean, freelancing is risky. When you're a personal trainer, working in a gym is a much, much, much safer environment because you have a base salary. As you climb the ladder, that base salary increases. You don't really have to worry about clients because there's a sales team dedicated to just, basically you're a part of a team and everybody takes care of each other. But when you're freelancing, you're on your own. You're like a lone wolf. You're the marketing team, you're the sales team, you're the one who has to go and take the sessions, you're the one who has to pitch clients, you're the one who has to schedule clients. Everything is it's all you. It's a one-man show. And at 22, it's a fairly risky thing to do. But I believed in myself and I quit my job. So around the same time, I also got out of a 4-year-long relationship. Now, ending a 4-year-long relationship sucks, irrespective of your age. But at 22, we practically grew up together. And on some level, I thought that this is the person I'm going to end up with. But that was probably because I was too young and naive. Because there were like a lot of red flags in that relationship. And I think the biggest thing that bothered me was she couldn't see the future. And I don't blame her for it, to be honest. Because I was 22, she was 21. And at 22, I didn't really have much to show for it. And I took a lot of risky decisions. So me quitting my job was probably like the final straw. And there's nothing wrong with her. There was nothing wrong with her as a person. She was very sweet. I have nothing bad to say about any of my exes for that matter. But she had to go. Because if you don't believe in me, then I don't want you in my life. So unfortunately, that sucked. I also shared a very strained relationship with my father. Because being an army officer himself, he wanted me to join the army as well. And I have no interest in being a cog in a wheel. Like, no disrespect to anyone who works in an organization. It's just, I always knew it's not for me. My dad did not take that well because he got a CDS ka form, and when वो CDS ka form भरा भी नहीं था, तो he was very pissed, understandably. So we stopped talking. Then my mom was very concerned, like every mother. So, but she was more concerned along the lines of, beta, you're still young, you're only 22, अभी भी time है, MBA कर लो, कुछ ढंग का काम करने लायक बनो and all that. And I get it, it comes from a place of love, but I've already made up my mind, So you're either with me or you're not. Anyway, so that was where I was mentally. Now physically, since I'd quit my job, when you're working in a gym, all your clients come to you. But when you are freelancing, you have to go to all of your clients. At the peak of my career as a personal trainer in a gym, I had 15 clients. And when I started freelancing, I had 3. And all 3 of them lived in different parts of the city. So I had to go and train each and every one of them like that. And उस time पे I had an FZS, which was gifted to me by my mother on my 2nd year of college. So I have to give her credit for that. तो उसी में मैं जाता था अपने clients train करने के लिए. Now the story starts. So this was July 2019. This was a year before COVID. And I broke up with her in April. I quit my job in May. And this was July 2019. So it's like everything is fresh. Like the pain is fresh. The doubt is fresh. I'm just this 22-year-old trying to understand how to make this work. And since it was July, it had started to rain. So monsoons had set in. So it had rained the whole night before, and I checked my weather app and it said that 11:30 ke baad it's gonna start raining. So I was like, cool, I will not carry my raincoat because my days used to start at 5 and I wrap up by like 9:30. So I was like, okay, by the time it starts to rain, I'll be back. So I didn't carry my raincoat. My mistake, but okay. Another reason why I did not want to carry my raincoat was because I used to live alone. So I still live alone. So I do my grocery shopping myself. I cook my food myself. So that day was a grocery shopping day. So I didn't want to stuff unnecessary shit in my bag. So ditch the raincoat. Now I go and train the first client. I wrap up there. I go to my second client. I wrap up there. And as I'm going for my third client, it started to rain. Bad. To the point where I had to park my bike on the side of the road, and now a decision needs to be made. कि क्या करना है अभी? Cancelling the session is out of the question because I have way too much riding on this. So I had to show up. So, but it was raining. So I was wearing a hoodie and uske andar I was wearing like a dry fit t-shirt. So I was like, dry fit hai, jaldi sukh jayega. I took my hoodie off. I stuffed the hoodie in my bag, wore the bag, got on the bike, off we go. And sure enough, within like 100-200 meters, मेरा t-shirt पूरा भीग गया था. Like, I mean, it was like sticking on my body. And I was on a bike, तो हवा और लग रही थी, और ठंडी लग रही थी. Anyway, I reached the society. It's a gym. Gyms have an AC. This gym also had an AC. And it was on full blast. And I wore the hoodie on top of the t-shirt. Because I didn't want to look wet. Because it's kind of embarrassing. Na? ऐसे भीगे भीगे आए हो. In hindsight, I could have taken the t-shirt off and then worn the hoodie. But उस time पे उतना मेरा दिमाग चला नहीं. I was just like, oh shit, मैं late हो रहा हूँ. फटाफट I just wore the hoodie on top so that I looked dry. And I just went and trained my client. So the thing is, when you're wearing wet clothes and you're in an air-conditioned environment, it drains you really fast. Because, you know, you're losing body heat. So you start feeling hungry, you start feeling tired. I was feeling it. But I was like, okay bro, koi nahi. It's just my last client for the day. It's fine. We'll wrap up and we'll go home. So I wrap up with that client. I get on my bike. And now I'm headed home. And I remember thinking, I was like, this day cannot get any worse. It gets worse. So the moment I thought that, it's like the heavens opened up. It started pouring, dude. Like, matlab, I'm not talking cats and dogs anymore. I'm talking giraffes and elephants, dude. Like, ghamasan barish. It was so bad that within seconds, I mean, I don't want to be crass here, but my balls were wet. You know, if you're a man riding a bike and you're getting wet and you don't want to get wet, but your balls are wet, you're wet, dude. आप भीग चुके हो. अभी क्योंकि कुछ बचा नहीं है भीगने के लिए ना. Like, that's the most intimate part of your body. And वो भी भीग, पानी वहाँ तक चला गया. तो at that point, as a man, you make peace with yourself that, ठीक है, dude. I'm wet, I'm cold, it's fine. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna take a shower, everything's gonna be fine. Now, since this was like 9:30, so this is like peak rush hour. So everybody is headed to work. And where my last client stayed and जहाँ पे मेरा घर था, they were like, it was a highway. तो उस पे traffic signals थे. I was stuck at a traffic signal. गंदी बारिश हो रही है. And मैं अकेला बस बाइक पे खड़ा होके भीग रहा हूँ. No raincoat, no nothing. And I just realized that I was the only guy on a two-wheeler on that traffic signal. Everybody else was in a car. Because anybody who had a two-wheeler, they had parked their vehicle out on the side जहाँ पे पेड़ वेड़ थे. So some are waiting for the rain to mellow down. Some are wearing the raincoats. मैं अकेला बस ऐसे बस बारिश में खड़ा होके बस I'm just waiting for the light to turn green. Because I was headed home anyways. So I'm like कि ठीक है अभी रुकने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. I'll just push through. I remember I was missing my ex. I remember I was thinking about what my dad said to me about how being an army officer would have been such a prestigious job. I would have been so respected in society. Instead, I left that to do something like this. I mean, obviously he was not so polite about it. The language that he used was way too profane and prolific for me to repeat out here. But anyway, I was thinking about my mom. I actually got through an MBA college, but I told my parents कि मेरा नहीं हुआ because I didn't want to waste 2 years of my life here. उसके लिए भी मैंने बहुत सुना था, उसमें भी मतलब ये भी नहीं कर सकते, यूजलेस, whatever. You know, that's why I hate monsoon. Hate is a strong word, but like it ticks a part of me when somebody tries to romanticize monsoons, right? Ki like, oh, kitna romantic मौसम है, रिमझिम बरसे पानी. I'm like, bro, the only reason why you're romanticizing monsoon is because आपने बारिश में सिर्फ दलगोना कॉफ़ी फेंटी है और भजिए तले हैं, that's it. कभी उठ के जाओ सुबह 5 बजे when it is cold and dark and wet outside, तब देखते हैं how romantic you find this weather. Like, I'm sure that poor guy from Zomato who shows up to deliver your food, अगर आप उससे पूछोगे कि भैया, isn't the weather amazing? He's not gonna go, मैडम मौसम तो बहुत awesome चल रहा है. Fuck no, dude. उसकी मजबूरी है. He has a family to feed. Anyway. So the lights turn green. The cars start to move. Ab now, since this is a highway, there is a certain part where the highway is slightly tilted like this. And there is a BRTS ka divider here. So barish mein you have a very nice puddle situation happening here. I was aware that that part is coming. But at this point I was like, I was on autopilot. I was thinking thoughts. And normally people are very considerate. Like, they slow down because they don't want to splash water on their less fortunate fellow citizens. That day, some asshole in a cab sent by God himself to test my patience just zoom past me, and I snap out of it. I'm like, okay, the puddle's there, the cab's here, and I'm here. Now I have two choices. I can either speed up and overtake the cab, or but that is not happening because I was on an FZS, dude. वो बेचारी 150cc की bike है. I was already doing 70 on it. Imagine I was doing 70 and this guy just zoomed past me. So you can only imagine how fast he must be going. But yeah, so I had a split second to make a decision. So even in that split second, I remember thinking, देख भाई, ऊपर का पानी चलता है, नीचे का पानी नहीं लग सकता, dude. My ego cannot take that. So I had to brake. So I was like, अब brake लगाना. तो I slammed the brakes really hard. अब the thing is, FZ में पीछे ड्रम ब्रेक होता है. अब ड्रम ब्रेक में कोई ABS नहीं होता है. So when you brake really hard, वो टायर लॉक हो जाता है. अब when you're doing 70 on a wet highway and you slam your brakes, your bike starts to dance like this. It's called fishtailing. So my bike started fishtailing. I was like, bhai, I genuinely thought I was going to die. I was like, this is it. This is how it ends. It's over for me. But luckily there was no traffic at the back of behind me. And I was on the side of the road. So the bike started just fishtailing like crazy, and I'm like trying to control it. And from 70, I come all the way down to 0. And I didn't bother getting the gears down because I was too busy not dying. So the bike all the way from 70 came to 0 and I didn't get the gears down. So the engine stalled. So the engine just went khoom. बंद हो गया. बारिश हो रही है. I was wearing a helmet, तो वो helmet पे टक 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 हो रहा था. That was probably the lowest point in my life, because that was the only time in my life I ever doubted myself, because there was a voice in my head that just went, how will we pull this off? And immediately there was another voice in my head that just went, of course we are going to pull this off. What do you mean how? If we are not on a side, then who's on a side, dude? Fuck all this mopey shit. We're going to go home. We're going to take a bath. It's going to be fine. I owe so much of my success to that voice. So he just goes, "ठीक है, dude, it sucks right now, but what do we need to do to get out of the situation right now?" So I was like, we need to find the neutral on the bike first. He's like, cool, man. Pull the clutch, get the gears down, turn the bike on. We're going to go home. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So I pull the clutch and I get the gears down, and I'll never forget this visual, dude. Like, I looked niche and everything was wet, dude. Sab gila, कीचड़ वीचड़ लगा हुआ था. The front wheel of the bike had कीचड़ on it, and उससे पीछे उसने गंदा पानी फेंका हुआ था. तो I was wearing like these black sneakers. Horrible choice. The front half was completely brown, and पीछे का wheel से वो spin होके वो मेरा बैग पूरा गंदा था. because मैंने रेनकोट कुछ पहना नहीं था. मेरा बैग पूरा गंदा था. मेरी हुडी गंदी हो गई थी. I was cold, wet, hungry. It was just like, it sucked, man. Like, I'll never forget this. It was so vivid. I placed my foot on the floor niche, on the road. So my shoe just went, because it's wet. The shoe is wet. The road is wet. The bike is wet. I am wet. Everything was wet. Only the engine of the bike was completely dry. And I remember उस पर से यामाहा लिखा हुआ था. And this is the part that gets me, dude. Fuck. Two drops fell on that Yamaha ka logo. And immediately it just evaporate हो गया. At that point, I remember this thought so vividly. I'll never forget this. Oh, fuck. Oh, I don't want to cry on the internet, man. Fuck. I remember thinking, I lost the person I love because of the choices I made in my life. My own parents don't support me. They don't really understand this kind of a life I want for myself. And because of the decisions I made in my life. And where did these choices and decisions lead me to? I'm tired, physically, mentally, emotionally. I was exhausted. I was hungry. I was cold. I was wet. I was so cold. It was so cold, I remember. But at that moment, none of that shit mattered. Because even at my lowest, deep in my heart, I always knew that one day I will be warm. Oh, I'm so proud of him, man. How the fuck did we pull this off? And you know the best part about that story is the fact that from that moment up until this moment right now, I didn't have, forget financial, I didn't even have any emotional support. I had nobody to motivate me, support me, guide me, mentor me, nothing. It was all me. And I don't say this with any anger or hate in my heart. I'm happy, not happy. I'm very grateful that I had to go through all of that shit by myself, because now I can take full credit for the life that I've built for myself. It was all me. I have the things in my life because I wanted it my way. So because of that, I have no shame in admitting the fact that I'm a fairly arrogant person as well. Like even in that story, I'm like, dude, और कोई होता नहीं कर पाता. It was me. That's why it happened and this and that. So, but despite all my arrogance, despite my ego, despite all my achievements and accomplishments, I am still humble enough to bow down to the fact that it could not have been just me. There has to be some superior divine entity that is watching over me. And that's why I believe in God. But I know God is a very touchy topic, because when you talk about God, you talk about religion. And unfortunately, in today's day and time, religion brings out the worst in people. So people don't want to talk about religion. But because of that, people have forgotten about God as well. And I think as human beings, we are meant to worship. And if you don't believe in God, then what do you worship? And that's why look at the state of the world here. Everything is so fucked because people don't believe in God. So if there's anything that you can take from this story, especially if you're a young guy going through some difficult times, believe in a higher power. Now, I'm not saying become religious and stuff, ki puja paat karne lago, mandir jao, ye bhet chadao. That's all pretentious shit anyways. I am not a religious person at all. Like, मैं रोज चिकन अंडे खाता हूँ with no guilt in my heart. नवरात्रि हो, महाशिवरात्रि हो, श्रावण हो, I don't care. I eat chicken and eggs every single day. I'll take it a step further. I don't even remember the last time I went to a temple and जाके ऐसे हाथ जोड़ के भगवान की मूर्ति के सामने. And I'm not bragging about this. This is not something to brag about. But I am not a religious person, but I believe in God and I worship Him in my own way, through my work, through my thoughts, through my actions, through the kind of a life that I live. And He's clearly happy with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any of this shit, dude. It's not possible. अकेले मैं कर ही नहीं सकता था यार. But if you had a camera crew following me around, you'd be like, हाँ, but this also you did on your own, that also you did on your own. ये भी रिस्क खुद से उठाया, इस टाइम पे भी कोई नहीं था. So I was all alone, but I was never lonely. So believe in a higher power and live your life as if that higher power is always watching you, not watching over you, watching you. Because watching over you exudes this false sense of, oh, I'll be taken care of no matter what. No. God does not help lazy people. God only helps those who show Him the strength and beauty of His creation. So, believe in a higher power. Live your life as if that higher power is always watching you. And whatever that higher power decides to give you, your only job is to accept it with the utmost gratitude and humility possible. अब ये सब बोलना बहुत आसान है, करना बहुत मुश्किल है. It took me like 6-7 years to figure all this out. But, and see man, like at 22, with a broken heart and wet balls, I was not very appreciative of the situation that I was in. But at 29, sitting in my dream car, talking about that, it's like, yeah, it's not too bad, dude. But the good feels this good because the bad felt that bad. So, and in your life, you will have bad times here. Like, there is no light without dark. There is no joy without pain. If you want rainbows, you need to get wet in the rain. So, and see, when I was 22, I did not believe in God. I only believed in myself. But at 29, I realized that it's the same thing. So, and I get it, there must be some atheists out there who'd be like, nah, it's all bullshit. And fair enough. Dekho, I am not going to reprimand you or condescend the way you think about life, because your thoughts and beliefs are shaped based on how you experience life. Just like my thoughts and beliefs are shaped based on how I experience life. And it's completely fine to have a completely different opinion. But I have just one question to all the atheists out there, is that when you win in life, who do you thank? And see, for me, winning is not like, it's not buying a car, it's not buying a nice house, it's not buying a fancy watch, it's not like a wife and kids and family. That's not winning. For me, winning is you want something and only you want that thing. It's not what society wants for you, it's not what your family wants for you, it's not what your friends want for you, it's what you want for yourself. That could be anything. That could be running a marathon, that could be jumping off a plane, that could be buying a car, that could be buying a house, that could be having a family. But you want it for yourself. It's not what society told you or anybody else. Nobody told you what you should want. You wanted it for yourself. And after a lot of effort and time, you finally get it. For me, that is winning. So as an atheist, when you win in life, who do you thank? Do you thank your friends? They weren't there. I mean, sure, they were there for emotional support, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was you who did all the work. Do you thank your family? Your family didn't believe in you. Do you thank yourself? You should thank yourself. I don't think there's anything wrong with thanking yourself, because you're the one who made it happen after all. But, excuse me. But it's like, अपने आप को कितना आप थैंक करते रहोगे, कितना अपनी पीठ थपथपाते रहोगे कि oh very good, very good, very good, right? Like, by that definition, I have won a lot in life. Like, this watch is worth 2 lakhs. I bought this for my 26th birthday. When I was 23 years old, I had 2 digits in my bank account. It's so embarrassing, dude, but this is like, nobody knows about this. But yeah, there have been times. मैंने देखा है bro, मैंने गरीबी देखी है. I know what rock bottom feels like. I know what scarcity feels like. So, and again, this is not to like, yo, look at my watch, look at my car, look at how awesome I am. This is not, it's all him. All him. I just worked hard. मैंने सिर्फ मेहनत करी है. That's it. बाकी सब उन्होंने दिया. So, and see, even for this video, I could have made like, oh, buying my dream car at 29 and I go to that showroom and then फिर वो कपड़ा हटा रहा हूँ and people are clapping and fuck all that shit, dude. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank the big G, the main G, God himself. So God, wherever you are, up there in the sky, up there in the clouds, wherever you are, thank you for believing in me. Because even though when I did not believe in you, thank you for giving me what I deserve. Because I worked very hard to get what I deserve. And I know I have a long way to go. I'll keep working hard. I'll keep making you proud. Just thank you for everything that you've done for me. And thank you for giving me your time and attention and listening to my story and staying till the end. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's about it, dude. Yeah, story. That's it. So I'll see you guys in the next week's video. Alright. Stay blessed. Take care, guys. Bye.